just couldn't lose weight, was overweight for many, many years, and about maybe 10 years. Had tried everything, and she was really very good about sticking to diets. It wasn't a case of cheating in the background. The weight would not come off at all. And she finally found the Sedona method, and they began to do an exercise about advantages and disadvantages. Or it could have been like, I think it was advantages, disadvantages. And so she decided to work on the weight problem. And prior to that, 10 years before that, she had been all her life very thin and actually quite gorgeous. And she was married. And anyway, she began to work on the layers of what was an advantage to you in being overweight? What was a disadvantage? And back and forth. She could do a couple of advantages, right? But then by the time they got to about the third layer, one advantage, one disadvantage, one advantage, one disadvantage, now what's another advantage? She couldn't come up with an answer. So she released on what she was feeling. And then they continued with a disadvantage, and then another advantage, again, no answer. Now, this becomes a little maybe frustrating, so now she's releasing on frustration. And then back to the other side, disadvantage, release on that, again coming back, still no answer. Now really feeling annoyed and angry, and releasing on that. And then another disadvantage, and releasing on that, and back to an advantage. And by the time she got to the 8th layer, everything popped, and what came racing back into her mind was the memory that about 10, 11 years previously, she was in the hospital having, I think it was a hysterectomy, and she's quite young still at the time. Anyways, it was some gynecological procedure. In that period of time, her husband had gone out and had taken the money they had saved and put it on a really great venture leverage kind of investment deal. And unfortunately, it was the kind of thing where you either win big or it goes down the toilet. So it was really kind of gambling with their funds. And it went down the toilet. So he came in to the hospital and told her. And it was in that moment that she remembered how angry she was. And she said, I know how I'm going to get him. And she proceeded to gain weight and could not lose the weight because it was like, it was like a conviction inside of her at an unconscious level. But once that all came to the surface and she could release on the anger and put it, let it go, she was very successful at losing weight and coming back to a happier body, physical state. So this is the thing. Unconscious material, if it was conscious, life would be easy.
Yeah, exactly.